Okay. Fun Friday. Don't have my music ready. But
Well,
it's
I'm
not
gonna have
really,
to start singing then.
It's not really time anyways.
Do, 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 do.
No, it's not time. It's not time.
It's not time. We're early? Are we early? How early are we?
Nobody's even here. Oh, 2 people are here.
Whoops. So it's early birds. The early bird special.
Early bird special's right. I'll sign
Packing them in.
Would you
Friday
like me
night.
to sign you in?
Oh, please sign me in. Thank you very much. I forgot about that. We got to get a new sign-in sheet.
I know.
Run through May.
And you know what's funny? This is the last night on Janine's performance schedule.
Wow.
It's the last night on Janine's performance
Ladies and gentlemen,
schedule.
we are at 5 minutes. 5 minutes to places. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Good evening,
Hey, thank you,
everybody.
5
Good evening,
minutes.
everybody. Good evening.
Yeah, here we are. It's Fun Friday.
On Friday.
Definitely Fun Friday.
Fun Friday.
It's humid here in Florida right
It is
now.
humid.
Look
It's
at this
humid in
crazy
this.
hair.
It's humid in this
Look at
closet.
2 crazy hairs.
Yeah.
Fridays with Milo.
Fridays with Milo. That's right.
Elizabeth, he is out in the other room.
Someone had asked if Milo had a.
Doppelganger?
No.
What?
So who was it last on Wednesday? Said Milo should have a.
Promotion?
Yeah. Oh, I think it was Roberta. Didn't she say Milo should have a?
I
Oh,
know.
I can't remember.
I don't
can't remember.
know.
That was killing me.
I don't
I
know.
thought, I want to mention it, and I forgot. Nancy, Kathy,
yep, Nick and Aileen.
Aileen.
Yep. Hi. Kathy had an experience
Dennis.
with Jacob. Jacob, tell people. Kathy, tell people what your experience with Jacob was. Finally Friday, Nancy says. I don't know, Nancy. This week was fast. Dennis Hall says Milo should have an equity contract. Don't give him any ideas. An avatar. Oh, that's a cute idea.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute.
My mom and dad are here
Yes.
from the old Pleasant Grove.
Grove. Hey, Pam.
Pam,
Man.
Tom are here. Man, the gang's all here.
Oh, something's actually. Well, we'll be excited on Monday if this thing happens on Monday with Pam and Tom that we're going to share.
Oh, that'll be big news on
Hopefully
Monday.
night might have
Hey,
some
from
exciting
Trenton
news.
to Betsy and Maureen.
Hey,
Hey,
John.
from Fort Myers to you, ladies. Okay, not yet. It's not yet. It's not even 2 minutes.
Not even 2 minutes?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No?
Everybody get your tasty beverage. Make sure you get a snack, popcorn, Starburst.
I wish I had a snack. You got those gummy
Ice cream.
bears.
No, I finished them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, here's 2 minutes.
I'll get you some more. I'll buy some tomorrow.
No.
Oh!
Oh, Fun Friday indeed.
Places, folks.
You'll
2
give me a new
minutes.
cell phone. Don't worry.
Yes.
Everything's fine.
That's right.
Everything's
If that phone
fine.
broke, we'd have a real problem.
We just keep it, we like to keep the drama high here
Yeah,
at
exactly.
Tiny Theater.
Yeah. The running out of gummy bears wasn't dramatic enough, so.
No.
Let me see if I break the
Hey,
phone.
Andrew's here from LA. Hi, Andrew.
Andrew.
Welcome.
Right
Well,
on.
I hope everybody had a good week. There's a lot going on in the world, y'all.
Yeah, there's
Let's not kid ourselves.
It is, I know.
There's
I
a
know.
whole lot going on, so I hope everybody's just taking care of themselves and having doing whatever you can to keep yourself okay.
Yes.
Rachel Bechtel. Hi,
Hey,
Rachel. So, Kathy says Jacob is amazing.
Jacob is
She
amazing.
emailed him to thank him for allowing us to use his plays, and he sent her all these ebooks.
Oh, that's great.
So she's
That's
going
great.
to share them with her book club. I think he only asked for people to write reviews.
That's
So
great.
Jacob is a very generous person. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Jenny says, I just updated the calendar. I will email it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
For people who don't know, who aren't theater folks maybe, and maybe a fresh round of calls. Great, Janine.
Right on. Janine.
So we have performance calendars in our regular world. We have, you can't really see. Well, it's the end. It's the end, so I could probably take it down. We have in real life, when we're doing real life plays, and we have real life equity stage manager and real life equity contract, we have these fanciness. This is a performance calendar, and it tells you all the times because sometimes you do matinees, sometimes you do 7 o'clock shows, and then you have your handy dandy sign-in sheets. So so our good pal Janine, who is a fantastic stage manager, she sent us a performance calendar and a sign-in sheet. So this is the end of the month for us.
So there's no excuse for us to be off beam.
We'll
we
get
have to be
we'll get new materials for next month. Woohoo! I'll put that in my scrapbook. Okay, it's places, y'all.
It is places.
It's time to get serious.
Time to get serious.
Thank you, Janine.
That's great.
Lady and gentlemen, can I have places, please? Places, please, for the top of the scene. Places, please. Places, please.
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
House
Thank
to
you,
hand.
places.
Thank you, places. That's usually what we say, right?
Yeah,
That's usually.
you're supposed to.
Thank you, places.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tiny Theater. Thank you for joining us this evening. At this time, we ask that you silence your cell phones, unwrap those candy wrappers, as we know the sound travels for 5 long, irritating miles. So crack open a tasty beverage, sit back, put the world on pause, and enjoy our next production.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Janine. So hey,
I
everybody,
think Beth
welcome.
Murray. I think Beth Murray said Mike and Ike's earlier about a tasty beverage and a little snack. Mike and Ike's are right on. You got it,
I
Beth.
love Mike and Ike's.
You got it.
I
You get
usually
some.
put Mike and Ike's in Brendan's Christmas stocking.
That's right.
Hey
Yeah.
y'all, welcome to a fun Friday here in the Tiny
Sorry, I'm-
Tiny Theater.
Friday.
Yes, fun Friday. So I'm Rachel,
I'm Brendan.
and we're married and doing plays in our closet Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you've never been with us before, all of our plays are Playwright approved. We don't do any material that we don't have permission to do. And there's a couple rules in Tiny Theater. The first rule is we don't rehearse too much. We only read the play maybe twice together before we do it live for you to keep it keep it interesting.
Keep it dangerous.
Yeah.
dangerous.
I think there's other rules, but I can't think of what they are right now.
No, yeah. It's
The
just-
first rule of Fight Club is there's no Fight
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah.
So,
Glad you're enjoying Tiny Theater.
yeah,
And,
yeah. Thank you all for being
So
with us.
we're excited that this tonight concludes a wonderful week, celebrating our dear friend, our playwright,
Jacob M. Appel.
So Jacob is a fantastic fella in New York City, and I know many of you have now watched the documentary.
Which is so nice. Thank you for watching that. That's great.
John Stahl directed that documentary, just called Jacob, on Amazon Prime, and it's fascinating. He's a really cool guy,
Yeah,
and I'm
super.
sure John is too. We don't know him very well,
Yeah.
but we just met John over internet, and he's
Yep, very
friend now.
sweet. Yep.
And so keep him in mind too. John Stahl, Stahl, and it's Jon. JohnStahl.com. He's got some interesting things in the works, some books and some other documentaries and things. Feel free to check it out. And if you like Jacob's work, feel free to check out Jacob. His website and all that information will be on the post at the end of the
Yeah,
evening.
so there's the post, that's the program. That probably is on the Facebook page right now, so you'll find out exactly what the play is that we're doing tonight, the list of characters, the set, the time, all that stuff, and a little bio of Jacob's. And then at about 9:30, there's a second post that drops on the Facebook page that is an extensive bio of Jacob's that tells you all about him being not only a playwright, also a lawyer, a bioethicist, a psychiatrist, a professor,
Tour guide.
a New York City licensed tour guide. This guy does it all. So it's pretty remarkable. I think there's not very many real geniuses in the world. And I think it's safe to say that Jacob is a for real genius. So we're going to do a play of his tonight. But first, we don't really have any thank yous or special announcements
We don't
per
have any
se.
Special announcements or any special particular thank yous, other than thanking you for joining us tonight.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But I have a question, actually. This is kind of an announcement. This is a soft announcement. Is that what you call it, a soft opening? So we're doing, we have something in the works. Y'all, this is crazy. Airbnb Experiences now have something called Airbnb Experiences Online.
Mm-hmm.
We've put together a couple proposals in collaboration with the Actors Fund for Airbnb online experiences. And since many of you have been with us from the very beginning, and for you friends who are just tuning in with us for the first time tonight maybe, we're curious what kind of interactive experience might be fun and interesting to do with us in the Tiny Theater. We have a couple proposals in the works, but I'm so curious to know what you all would think might be fun. Because something that's really key and critical to an Airbnb experience is a sort of interactive, participatory, is that the right word? Yeah,
Sure.
experience, to make it an experience as opposed to just viewing.
Yes. So that's the challenge that lay before you and us. We have some interesting ideas and some
If you
interesting
choose
things.
to take it.
Interesting things are popping up. So feel free to share your thoughts with us, whether it be
Yes.
private message or on
Yeah,
here
private
or
message,
whatever.
share it in a post right now, whenever
Yeah.
you want to share it.
Whatever you wanna
I'm
do.
just curious to see what might be interesting to you.
Yeah.
If that's even interesting.
That's right.
Let's do a play.
Let's do the final Jacob M. Appel play this week. This one is called CAUSA MORTIS, or The Medical Student. CAUSA MORTIS. I don't know if it's or it might be CAUSA MORTIS. I don't know the exact pronunciation. I should have talked to my brother who's watching.
He's a Latin
he would know,
guy.
He would know exactly how to say this, and so I'm embarrassed that I don't know. But anyway, CAUSA MORTIS, or The Medical Student, by Jacob M. Appel.
Yes.
Oh, someone asked if Milo was going to help with the costumes. That was Roberta was asking.
Oh.
There are a few costume changes tonight. They will not be as harrowing as Wednesdays.
We have a set change though.
There's a little change, and so Milo, we asked him, but it's not within his pay grade, and it's not on his job description, and he refused.
Oh.
Right?
Sure.
Is that the story we decided to?
Let's go back
He's
to
not
the
here.
play.
He's not here.
Let's start with the title again, shall we? It's Fun Friday, y'all.
Oh. CAUSA MORTIS, or The Medical Student by Jacob M. Appel.
Characters in the play.
Characters are
Eleanor, a neurology patient, female, 50s to 60s.
Get your tasty beverage.
Paige, Eleanor's older daughter, females, 30.
Robin, a med student. She's in her 20s. An amnesiac, quadriplegic, female, in her 20s.
Dr. Gwendolyn Falk, a brain surgeon, female, 50s.
There's another character in the play who does not appear in the scenes tonight, and her name is Gloria, and she's Eleanor's younger daughter, females 20s, 30s. The setting of the play is the neurology ward of a private hospital in a major American city.
The time is present.
Act 1, Scene 1. Paige and Robin. A hospital corridor. Robin carries a towering stack of patients' charts.
Let me ask you something, doctor.
I'm not a doctor. I'm a medical student.
That's all right. So here's my question.
Honestly, I'm probably not the best person to ask. This is my first day in the hospital. I've only been working here for 3 hours.
Don't worry. It's an easy question, doctor. Let's say you'd been having debilitating headaches every afternoon for the past 6 months. Headaches so bad that you thought your brain was on fire. What would you do?
Well, I suppose I'd see a doctor, which, for the record, I am not.
So you wouldn't try to work through the pain?
I'm a medical student. They expect me to work until I keel over.
Very well, but let's pretend you aren't a doctor. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, you're a senior marine biologist at the city aquarium. Now, would you seek medical attention? Or would you put it off until one day when you were halfway through feeding the dolphins, you ended up keeling over into a tank of salt water with dozens of school children looking on?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that.
I didn't think so. Now, tell me this, doctor. If you had a serious and long-standing medical condition, would you tell your daughters who love you more than any other human being on the entire planet? Or would you tell nobody?
Please don't call me doctor. My name is Robin.
Very well, Robin. You'd tell your daughters, wouldn't you?
I don't have any daughters.
But if you did?
I guess I would.
Of course you would. You've only been a doctor 3 hours and you already know that.
Look, listen to me. I'm a medical student, not a doctor. We're required by law to make that clear to the patients and their families. It's the very first thing they tell you when they give you your white coat. Honestly, it's the only thing that they tell you. That under absolutely no circumstances are you allowed to pass yourself off as a physician. Otherwise, you can get expelled or sued, or you can even go to jail for practicing medicine without a license. So please, don't keep calling me doctor, because I'm only a lay person, an ordinary citizen, just like you, and there's nobody in the world who is less a doctor than I am. Robin loses her grip on the patient's charts, and they topple to the ground. Pages fly in all directions. Oh, God! Robin falls to her knees and begins to sort through the charts, attempting to guess which pages belong to which patient.
Paige kneels down alongside her and assists as best she can. It's okay. I know you're not a doctor.
And I'm never going to become one either, at this rate.
Well, what should I do with the torn pages? She holds up 2 halves of a ripped page from a patient's chart. Robin takes the scraps from her and examines them, and then she stuffs them inside her blouse. It's just that it's so hard to find a real doctor to talk to around here.
But please don't tell anybody I got the charts mixed up.
I suppose I'd have better luck on a golf course.
Dr. Falk would have my head if she ever found out.
Or maybe a car wash. Doctors always drive such clean cars. Have you noticed that?
I didn't go to medical school to play golf or to drive a shiny car. All I wanted to do was help people. And old-fashioned as that sounds, I know. And now I'm going to get expelled on my first day in the hospital.
Oh, honey, it's not such a big deal, is it? The pages don't even seem to be so mixed up. All of these over here are for the same patient, Sally Brown, and she sounds like she's very sick. Anyway, although I suppose I shouldn't be reading through her records.
No, it's... All of these charts are for different patients named Sally Brown. Dr. Fox sent me to get Mrs. Brown's files from the medical records, but there were 19 different patients named Sally Brown who've been treated at this hospital at one time or another, and I didn't know which one she wanted, so I brought them all.
Oh, damn, this is serious.
You don't know the half of it. Dr. Falk sent a medical student home last year for slouching. Robin stuffs additional pages into her blouse until papers are pecking out of her clothing from all sides.
Do you know what else is a serious matter?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
My mother's health is a serious matter.
Oh, of course it is.
You know that. I know that. The only person who doesn't appear to understand that is my mother. Has anybody told you why my mother's head hurts?
Robin gathers up the charts and stands up. Several pages fall out of her blouse. She tucks them into her pants. What? Who is your mother again?
Eleanor Powell, room 125, bed 2. Do you know why Eleanor Powell's head hurts?
Honestly, I don't.
My mother has a wristwatch lodged inside her skull.
A wristwatch?
A man's wristwatch.
I didn't know that was possible. Last year they showed us slides of a drunk musician who tried to swallow a clarinet on a dare. You could see all the tiny gauges in the x-ray of his stomach.
Well, my mother didn't swallow anything. My mother had a benign brain tumor removed as a teenager while she was at boarding school in Switzerland. And it appears one of the Swiss surgeons accidentally left his watch inside her cranium.
Oh, that does sound painful.
So much for Swiss precision.
At least it wasn't a cuckoo clock.
Although, who can be certain if it even was an accident? Maybe the surgeon did it intentionally.
Or a clarinet. Can you imagine having a clarinet lodged in your skull?
All sorts of crazy people become doctors. You'd have to be rather crazy to spend your life cutting open other people's skulls, if you ask me.
Yeah, but I guess nobody brings a clarinet into an operating room.
Are you listening to me? My mother has a 40-year-old timepiece trapped inside her head. I'll bet they didn't teach you about that in medical school.
I'm not done with medical school yet.
The bottom line is that my mother has been keeping this a secret. She found out about the watch in the 70s when they installed metal detectors at the airport, but since it didn't cause her any discomfort, she didn't bother to tell anybody.
Well, maybe you should be telling this to someone with a medical degree.
It's easier to tell you now and wait for you to graduate. Besides, it's not very complicated. After minding its business all these years, the watch has started encroaching on other things inside my mother's head. Important things, arteries, ventricles, gray matter.
Those are important.
So I'm told. If she doesn't have surgery soon, the watch may cut off the blood supply to her cerebral cortex. And I'm sure you understand what that means.
Well, it doesn't sound very promising.
Precisely, Robin. It doesn't sound very promising. Needless to say, when Mom collapsed, my sister and I consulted the leading neurologist in the country, and they all recommended the same surgeon. I'm sure you've heard of him. Dr. Hiram T. Luxby.
You mean the Dr. Luxby?
I swear the man's resume weighed more than I do. Harvard Medical School, surgical residency at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, a fellowship at Mayo Clinic, specialized in the removal of foreign objects from within the cranium. The ideal candidate for the job. So we went to Dr. Luxby. My mother's x-rays went. He was so intrigued by her case that he flew in from Heidelberg 4 days later to perform the procedure. And then he dropped dead.
Scene 2. Hospital room 125. Eleanor and the amnesiac are in adjacent beds.
Right there in the operating room. 1 minute, he was holding the scalpel, and the next, he was with a doctor's car. R-A-R-T.
What's R-A-R-T?
Rapidly assuming room temperature. Not that I actually saw him collapse, you understand. I was still under amnesia, but I knew I was in trouble when I woke up, and the bandages were on my chest, not my head. During his heart attack, Dr. Luxby fell on the scalpel.
Oh, that's just awful.
So, then my daughters brought in another surgeon, Dr. Lawrence Spatnick, who was Luxby's protege at Harvard. He's such a decent, likable young man, Dr. Spatnick. Nothing at all like the surgeon. He even plays the harp in a chamber quartet. I'll confess, I was hoping that I'd wake up from surgery and he'd be having coffee with Paige. She's my single daughter, the one there's still hope for. Gloria threw herself away on a... Oh, I can't bear to say it.
Well, it can't be that bad, can it?
A professional grave robber.
I'm sorry.
The man was a real-life body snatcher. He'd slink around cemeteries, waiting for the mourners to leave, and then he'd shovel out the corpses, strip them of their valuables, and sell the bodies to medical schools in California. You can't imagine how mortifying it was for Gloria to give back all that jewelry.
At least she found out while she was young. She'll have a second chance with someone else.
She's still with him.
At least there's hope for your other daughter and Dr. Spatnik.
Unfortunately, there isn't. Instead of waking up from surgery with a future son-in-law who doesn't pinch wedding bands from cadavers, I found myself in the recovery room with another chest wound. That poor man, Dr. Spatnik, surrounded by all those doctors and all that equipment, and nobody could do anything for him.
Another heart attack?
So, you understand why I won't let them try again. It's not that only that I've killed 2 leading neurosurgeons in the prime of their career, but you have to consider all of the future patients whose lives they might have gone on to save. I could be indirectly responsible for hundreds of deaths, even thousands.
I hadn't thought of that.
So that's my story, honey. I won't let them operate, and my daughters won't agree to take me home without the operation. What about you? What's your name?
I don't know. Scene 3. Scene 5.
We're skipping ahead.
Dr. Fox's office. Dr. Fox is with Robin.
Scratched your cornea. Looking up from a stack of charts. You're Robin, right?
Yes, Dr. Fox. Robin Pasternak with a CK at the end.
With a CK at the end? You don't say. And how long have you been working here in the hospital, Miss Robin Pasternak with a CK at the end?
7 hours, Dr. Fox.
Do you know how long I've been working in the hospital, Robin?
No, Dr. Fox.
600 years.
Really, Dr. Fox?
No, not really. But it feels that way sometimes.
Yes, Dr. Fox.
I've actually been here only 30 years. What do you think of that?
30 years is a long time.
Damn right, 30 years is a long time. And do you know how many mistakes I've made in those 30 years, Robin?
No, Dr. Fox.
Guess.
I couldn't really.
Guess a number.
2 or 3?
Thousands.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Mistakes come with the territory. You have to crack some eggs to make an omelet, and you have to crack some skulls to scoop out tumors. The unfortunate truth of the matter is that if you don't kill a patient now and again, you're not doing your job well. You show me a neurosurgeon afraid of taking risks, and I'll show you a body trail as long as the Erie Canal. I've severed the wrong arteries. I've punctured the wrong chambers. I've even left a gauze pad inside a patient's tentorium. But I've never been sued, never. Not once. Do you know why?
Because people are afraid of you.
Because I've always admitted when I'm wrong. I never try to cover up anything. Do you understand what I'm saying, Robin with a CK?
Don't lie to the patients, Dr. Fox.
Screw the patients. Don't lie to me.
I'm not sure.
Of course you're not sure. You don't have any idea at all. According to your report, the patient in room 104 is oriented to time and space. And the patient in room 104 is brain dead, Robin. They're keeping him on life support until this evening so they can harvest his organs.
I must have been confused.
And Miss Powell in room 125 can't possibly have shown you that she was oriented to time and place, or have told you the name of the president. She pretended she was in a coma. How do I know that? because she's been pretending she's in a coma for 66 days every time I send in a fresh medical student to examine her.
I'm sorry, Dr. Falk. It won't happen again.
You bet it won't happen again. There are only 2 ways you're going to make it through this clerkship, Robin, with a CK. Do you know what they are?
No, Dr. Falk.
Either you can work your ass off 24 hours a day until you know your patient so well that you can predict 3 days in advance when their noses are going to itch, until you forget that there's a world outside of this hospital building, or you can grow a penis and a pair of testicles and start screwing the nurses in the linen closets.
Dr. Falk.
I was the first female surgeon on faculty here on my first day as a medical resident in the hospital. The senior surgeon looked through my progress notes on the patients and then dropped his pants and urinated on them. That's the way it is for women in surgery. If you do a great job, your patients appreciate you and your male colleagues tolerate you. But if you screw up, and believe me, you will screw up, it's going to be because you can't urinate standing up. Am I making myself clear?
You're saying that there's a double standard.
There's only one standard around here. Excellence.
Yes, Dr. Falk.
You've managed to make more You've managed to make more mistakes in 7 hours than I have made in 600 years. Now go back and go through histories and physicals from your patients.
Yes, Dr. Falk.
And don't slouch. People pay thousands of dollars for health insurance in this country. They're entitled to physicians with good postures.
Yes, Dr. Falk.
That's all you're gonna get. That is the end of the week for Jacob and Appel. Jacob and Appel. This is a nice headscarf you got going on there.
I was really...
Oh,
really
me,
getting
oh
into
my. Oh.
So, we're going to kind of calm down, I think.
Next week we're going back to the
we're gonna
basics,
chill out
y'all.
a bit.
There's no set changes. There's no costume changes. We're not going to put on makeup. We're not taking off makeup like we did on Wednesday.
We just thought that we would have a wild week.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you for sharing your fabulous words with us. Y'all, what did you think of Jacob's work? It's pretty wild, right?
I hope you have a chance to go on his website and check him out. And again, his plays are on the website, all his plays, and they're all free. So if you want to check him out, email him, and he'll send you a copy of them, and it'll be great. Because you can actually read them on the site, too, but they're not formatted in the best way. So it's easiest if you'll just email you a PDF, and you're good to go.
Oh, that's my...
What's this?
This is the wrong music. This is our Tiny Talks music. Something we haven't even announced yet.
Thank you for getting through Friday with us.
Yeah, thank you for getting through this crazy week of Jacob. You know, here's what we really liked about Jacob's plays. They are wildly wacky and comic. But the underlying sort of message in his plays that we felt was that sense of what's happening in a society, and it's sort of holding up a mirror and saying, like, well, what's the big deal about this? If that's okay, then why isn't this okay? A lot of equality, diversity, and inclusion kind of topics that are obviously really important to us.
Well, and he loves, he's all into bioethics too. And so he has a book, I think his most recent book, some of you may know this, his most recent book is called Who Says You're Dead? And in Who Says You're Dead, it's a series of case studies. Some are fictitious, but others are actually based on actual...
I'm going to get his books.
Oh, yeah, there I go. And it's a series of case studies that really delve into some interesting situations, and it kind of leaves you as the reader wondering, what would you do in this situation, given a person's prognosis?
Jacob M. Appel, Shalithia. Jacob M. Appel. This is short stories.
Yeah.
We have been reading plays, so we haven't had a chance to read all of these, obviously. Who Says You're Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really interesting. So check them out. There's a documentary on Amazon Prime.
It's very good, very fun. I was looking at one thing and I can't find it. But anyway.
Yeah, super, super cool person.
Yes, for example, this is funny. Jacob, in the documentary, he'll say, as he writes stories, he says, there's a first, you got to catch him with the first line. The first line of a short story is everything. Okay, and just as an example, one of his short stories is called La Tristesse des Hérissons. I don't really know what that means, but the first sentence says, we'd been living together for 8 months when we adopted the hedgehog.
And the music went out exactly at the same time.
I'm compelled to read at least the next few sentences to see what's going on, and then you're hooked in the book.
And the music went out at exactly the same time as
Yes.
the end of that sentence.
We rehearsed
I think
that endlessly.
An auspicious something.
Well,
All right, y'all. It's
time.
that time. It's the end of the week.
You know what time it is, folks.
It's time
Reach
for
for
us
the
to
beverage.
do a tasty beverage
Reach
toast.
for the tasty beverage toast. And so what are we going to do tonight?
So, this is what we're doing tonight.
Lower the music.
Yeah. So, this is what we're doing tonight. So, we just want to say, we just want to publicly say, acknowledge that there's a lot of people that are very tired. And we just want to recognize and give a special toast to all the people in America who are feeling really tired. And, yeah. Anything else to say?
No. Tired of a lot of things. So,
Tired of a lot of things that have been going on for a long time.
toast to everyone. We hope you will join us in a communal toast, putting out to the universe all those folks who are tired. Yeah.
Here's to you.
Here's to us, yeah.
It's
Cheers,
not
cheers.
okay. I know, Shalithia. I know.
Yeah. May clearer heads prevail. We hope you have a great weekend, though. And on Monday, we'll be back with a brand new Playwright. And,
And please join us.
yeah.
We'll try to have some fun, and as our stage manager says, we'll try to put the world on pause. Because that's why we come to the theater after all anyway, right? Is to try to put the world on pause and find some clarity out there. So we love you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home and come back and be with us next week at Tiny Theater. We love you all.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Jacob, for letting us use your words. And thank you, John, for helping us
Thank
find
you, John
Jacob.
Stahl.
Yeah.
See y'all on Monday.
See you Monday. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.